We turn now to quantitative data. Community-based researchers sometimes start with qualitative data and use quantitative methods to scale up their data collection. Ben Anderson discusses this approach used in the Institute for Global Prosperity's research in East London. The project produced insights into the way local people viewed prosperity, or what was important to them.
One of the key assumptions that we work with is that prosperity is localised, and that really if you want to make a difference to local communities and you want to help influence decisions that are made around local communities, you need to be measuring what matters, and you need to be measuring the factors that local communities care about for their prosperity and what's going to make a difference to their lives. So to start out, we wanted to create a new index, a new set of measures and metrics to measure that. So we used a citizen science program. We recruited local members of the communities. We trained them in research methods. And we sent them out into the community to talk to local thought leaders, local residents about what matters to them, about what the good life is, about what a prosperous life and a prosperous community looks like. We used that research, which took about 3 months and was about 250 interviews, to develop a framework looking at all the different aspects of people's lives and communities that mattered. Developed this framework into a model for prosperity in East London that was locally situated. We then worked with local partners, local government, local communities, local think tanks, to turn that into a set of quantitative and objective metrics that measured the things that we've been told by the local communities mattered. We conducted a household survey, about 750 households, which is about a third of our local target group, to then collect quantitative and objective data on all of these measures that were deemed important.
The team developed a series of graphic representations of the results of the survey to inform local decision makers about what's important to local people. They called these prosperity scorecards.
So along working with these local partners, working with local government, they wanted something that was effective at communicating what this index was measuring, what the important factors were, all the different aspects. In order to kind of influence decision makers and influence policy, you need to be able to communicate clearly. So we tried to think of a good way to visualise and present the quantitative data that we had collected. And we came up with scorecards. The scorecards are for each specific area and research site that we have, broken down into the domains of prosperity, into the headline indicators and the specific measures. So that if you want, you can look and you can get an overall snapshot of how the area is doing on prosperity, on health and well-being, on the foundations and economics of prosperity. And you can also then look further into each measures to see how people are doing in education or in job security in a very clear and kind of graphically presented way.
So developing questions for a quantitative survey based on previous qualitative research was effective in this case, and it could be for you too.